Alrighty, happy Thursday, everyone out there, and welcome back. If you are new, welcome. We are in scary times. Very, very choppy Karate Kid chopping times here. I am NightmareRH for anyone who does not know, and welcome if you are new, like I said. If you enjoy my content and my uploads, definitely smash the like button, entirely free. I tend to upload videos on this YouTube channel Monday through Friday, and this YouTube channel is still relatively new, so let's grow this very much into the multiple thousand subscriber range. My main YouTube channel is a video gaming channel. Nobody wants to come over to real life money making, right? And I get it. Stocks are very, very scary right now, and people have good reasons to be very fearful of the market. Now, we're seeing a lot of green on the screen right now, which I'm going to be talking about momentarily. Broadcom obviously took a beating. I'm going to be talking about what happened with Broadcom. Their earnings, phenomenal. Utterly amazing. So why is the stock down 15%? One of the world's largest companies, market cap of 2.27 trillion. Hold on one second. Let me cross-reference that. Hold on. Got to make sure. I believe it was at like 2.6 trillion. Actually, no. 1.93 trillion. I think it was at 2.2 something before being down now 15%. I'm going to be talking about them in today's video. Going to be talking about what my strategy is, because this market could really go one or two ways. This market could very well crash. This market could very well soar. And it's literally a coin toss. Like, things are literally setting up in this market to go up or to literally crash and go down. It's pretty crazy. And a lot of people really see this, and I really feel that's why a lot of people are very much discouraged. I myself, I am definitely not discouraged at all. If you do follow me, you're going to see a lot of motivational and also educational content from investing and also trading, and very much buying the fear. Because over the last 6 months now, I have bought well beyond $70,000 worth of stock. Publicly, well over 40,000 here on this channel. I'm also doing a public profile challenge on this YouTube channel. I might get to my profile today. Want to keep this video under 20 minutes here. Otherwise, yesterday I went through my public profile, and the day before as well too. But let's go ahead and dive into it. Firstly, how can one of the world's largest companies pretty much go down now 15%, but we're seeing green on so many speculative names, such as SoFi is green. We've reclaimed 17 bucks. Woohoo! AMD is obviously following Broadcom, or rather, let me say this. What happened with Broadcom? So, I didn't listen to their earnings call. I did look at their balance sheet. Phenomenal. You want to talk about 110% out of 100? Like, amazing. Utterly amazing numbers. Their AI guidance was left unchanged. So, what does that mean? Well, right now, what is causing this market to very much push higher is AI guidance. The AI build-out. If you are in AMD, you are rock and rolling with me. Or I should say, we're all rock and rolling. If you are in very much memory stocks like Micron from several months ago, you are up by hundreds of percents. Even SanDisk, other AI companies, build out AI companies. Nebuous is it's another company that builds out AI, that's building out the infrastructure, okay? We are in a cycle right now where the AI data centers are being built. So therefore, any company that is receiving that money, whether it is physically building the data centers where, you know, you have companies that are actually putting together the buildings, or whether it's companies that are physically making the chips, the memories, the computers, Dell, etc., Intel, so many more, right? So any of those companies are going to be benefiting. Now, the market wants to see companies, one, spending more money. They also want to see companies that are receiving money for AI to be raising their guidance. AMD, the guidance, oh, it's pretty crazy. It's unbelievable. And that's why AMD is up now by well beyond 100% in the last month or so. Water cheers, by the way. It's going to be a hot one. 91 degrees, also humid for me. It's going to be my track running day. Oh, man, it's going to be good. No, it's going to suck. Got to stay hydrated. It's also 10:29 a.m. right now. So any company right now that literally is doing the build out is going to very much be going up as long as their guidance follows in suits with their earnings. If you have phenomenal earnings, but you don't have good guidance, oh no. And we saw that with SoFi. SoFi's earnings, 120 out of 100. Yeah, they were a blow out of the water. SoFi, their guidance was unchanged because rate cuts is off the table. So any company right now with no future guidance, they're going to be hit. They're going to be hit not once, but they're going to be hit twice, and it's going to cause a lot of selling. So why are we green? Well, this came out actually several hours ago, which is pretty remarkable. Actually, I clicked on the wrong thing here. Okay, this is actually not the remarkable thing, but I just had this tab open. So we did get some data this morning. Obviously, weekly jobless claims came in pretty much in line. It's going to be revised probably to the downside. So in line. Tomorrow is unemployment rate data, employment rate as well, and employment report. Oh boy, word salad. Tomorrow is going to be really big economical data, okay? The big stuff that just came out that is really swaying this market, in my opinion, is basically pretty much this article right here. So apparently, the House of Representatives in America, I'm in America, here in America, took a vote, and this ended up passing, basically limiting Donald Trump's military power to basically pretty much use on Iran. Obviously, the House of Representatives, they want this conflict to be wrapped up very much sooner than later. Obviously, they're looking about the midterms. Yeah, it's all about the midterms, honestly. And when you have a Republican sitting president, this could very well go bad. Not to mention, this war is not really the most popular here in America. I really hope and I really do want peace very much in the Middle East, let alone around the world. So understand that just because something passes in the House, it doesn't mean it's going to pass in the Senate. The Senate is very slim, though. Okay, in the Senate, I believe it is 50-50, 50 Republicans, 50 Democrats. Don't quote me on that. The vice president, though, could very well come in and break that. Don't quote me on that, too, because I honestly can't remember the last time the House really voted to limit the military, power of a president. I remember Obama. I remember Bush. I honestly don't remember the House or the Senate really limiting the power at all. So this is definitely very interesting. But I do believe that this article is or this issue is very much causing green, because what it means is very much that obviously we really cannot be engaging in military strikes. So we got to get the ball rolling to, one, make a peace deal with Iran, and we really got to get the Strait of Hormuz open. I think I butchered that word too. And oil has got to get below $85 a barrel. The Federal Reserve has stated that if oil is $85 or lower, that means that it's not really going to impact inflation that much. maybe the Federal Reserve can then lower or maybe give us maybe the Federal Reserve really needs to come out and they need to say, hey, we're not raising rates. That alone is going to put pressure off the market. And the reason being is because the market is very fearful about rate hikes. So if the Fed comes out and says, hey, we're not doing rate hikes, okay, that is instantaneously going to take a lot of fears away. But if oil is very high and inflation is going higher, the market is not going to like it, and it does matter, okay? If you are new to the market, I'm a retail investor, I'm a retail trader. People like myself, people like you all, and I say this respectfully, even if you are a retail upper 8-figure investor or trader, or even lower 8-figure, I mean, hell, you could even be a 9-figure retail investor or trader, you don't sway the market, okay? These people that sway the market, they control hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars, okay? And I'm talking about Wall Streeters, I'm talking about hedge funds. The amount of money that they all control, they sway the market. And if they want to send the market down, they can send the market down. If they want to send Broadcom down, they're gonna send Broadcom down. Sure, the algos, the bots, they do control, but as well, the hedge funds could very well come in and be like, hey, we're gonna go against the algos and we're just gonna buy. It's happened many, many times before. And if you've been in the market and if you stayed in the market, you see these situations pretty much happen. To be perfectly honest, one of those days where hedge funds really did buy, we can go all the way back on the S&P. It was the last day of Q1 of 2026. I believe the last day of Q1 was Tuesday, March 31st. Last day of Q1. Look at this. Last day of Q1. Why was the last day of Q1 very green on the major indexes, let alone the stock market? Well, believe it or not, it's very funny because if you actually research how hedge funds work, they do a lot of their, so picture this. Picture that you are a hedge fund and I bring you X amount of money and I go and live my life and I want a quarterly report from you. I am literally giving you my money to invest for me and trade for me. I don't want anything to do with the market. I just want to play golf. I want to jerk off. I want to, just run my businesses, do whatever. You invest money for me. You're a hedge fund manager. Okay. Every quarter, you are going to send me a report. And the report is definitely from the beginning of the quarter to the end of the quarter. And a lot of hedge fund managers, they love to prop up their reports to their clients. Obviously, they want to end the quarter on, hey, look, everything's, and think about it this way. If I give you money to invest, when do you think I myself am going to be paying attention to what you're doing? I'm going to probably be paying attention to what you're doing very much probably at the beginning of a quarter and also the end of a quarter, right? The middle of the quarter, it's like, hey, you want to know what happens in the middle of the quarter? Whatever. It's all about the beginning and end. This is the way Wall Street works. If you think it's corrupted like I do, we're in the same boat. I mean, it really is. It really is a Ponzi scheme if you really go ahead and look at it. But, this is how they operate. So if big money wants to send the market down because they're scared about rate hikes, they're going to send the market down. Now, what do you do? Or I should say, what am I doing? Because I don't know your situation. I'm also not a financial advisor by all means. I'm not running a financial advisor stock channel, but this is primarily what I'm doing. I have positioned myself to where if this market gets sent down, I got money on the cash line and I'm going to be buying the dip. If this market soars higher and we go on a rally all throughout the summer into the end of the year, hey, my positions are built. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to be playing golf in 2 weeks on my birthday, June 25th. It is what it is. Last summer during Liberation Day, I barely looked at the stock market last summer. I was actually selling a lot of stock because during Liberation Day last year, I went all in the market. I don't like to use that terminology very, very often, all in, but I really did go all in. I bought well beyond over $100,000 worth of stock, hard cash, investments, and also trade positions as well. On 2 accounts, I had friggin' Palantir underneath $100. Nvidia was a glorious trade. Meta was a trade. Various other companies as well. Literally depleted all of my cash during Liberation Day. During the summer of last year, I was on the golf course and I was just selling stock. Everyone was FOMOing on into the market. All my trading positions, I was selling 5% here, 10% here, 15% here. Oh, wow. Palantir, I'm up now 100% on this profile. I gotta take some profits. So if the market goes on a rally this summer, I'm ready. If the market goes down and we crash, because the major indexes are very much trading high, and I mean the market is very much propped up because of data centers and AI, I'm ready. My biggest advice in a non-financial way is position your life to where it is a coin toss and be ready for 2 possibilities. Be ready for possibility 1, that the market goes up. If the market goes up, are you positioned? It's a yes or no question. Have you been buying stock when people have been fearful? I've been. The last 6 months, practically very little people have been buying stock and very little people have been checking these videos. I've been buying a lot of stock. I'm ready if this market just soars higher. SoFi, all these speculative names, SoFi, SAS, Adobe recovers, Hood, Palantir, Meta, PayPal, ServiceNow. They all go on a rally. I'm ready. AMD obviously started this rally. What if the market gets sent down? What if SoFi breaks below 15? Hey, I'll pick up more shares. What if Adobe goes a little lower? It's going to be a grab my nuts and buy on that one. Robinhood, I would feel okay buying if Robinhood went into the 60s again. Palantir, the growth rate, I mean, the evaluation has caught up with the stock. I'd be okay. Palantir's a buy right now. Meta, I've deleveraged myself with Meta because they're spending so much. I don't see PayPal going really any lower. Knock on some wood, they very well could, but they would be fundamentally undervalued, and that would be a grab my nuts and buy too. ServiceNow, they're doing a strong recovery. I really don't see them getting sent down back to where they were. So Broadcom is very much selling off, but all these very speculative names are going higher. And a lot of it has to do with probably the news that we just got around very much like Middle East. A lot of money, a lot of money might be flowing out of Broadcom and going into these other stocks. The last thing that I'm going to really touch on is Bitcoin. This is very friggin' scary, okay? We are more than likely going to retest its low from February. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're talking all the way down to $60,000. If we break $60,000 on Bitcoin, the next real support is probably $50,000. If the market gets sent down, I'm talking about the stock market, 2 things can happen, and I talked about this yesterday. One, is we can see a rotation. Stocks go down, maybe all that money, because you got to remember, the money goes somewhere. The money is either going to go on the sidelines into treasury bonds. The money goes somewhere, okay? It goes somewhere. What if, hypothetically, the money goes into crypto? But why would it? You got to remember that. It's like, why would you, if you are hedge funds selling out of stocks because they're too scary, why the hell would you be buying crypto? It just really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So what does that mean? That could mean Bitcoin's going to crash even more. In my opinion, this summer is going to be a coin toss. It's going to be a coin toss whether we're going to have a bloody summer and then a epic recovery into the midterms and end of the year, or we really have a rally into the summer and then we have a nasty end of the year. Me personally, again, I'm positioned. So I'll go ahead and leave you all with this on a closing note. Are you positioned? Because if you are positioned, you got nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. If you're not positioned, hey, you got to create a strategy and you really got to align your strategy long term. If you're trading stocks, you got to make sure your strategy is aligned to your trading strategy. But understand that if something goes wrong in your strategy, you got to be a big boy or a big girl and you got to know when to pull the cord. Okay? And you also got to be flexible, too, to adjust your strategy. My strategy with AMD, I can really tell you, if AMD is going to be over $1,000 this year, where a lot of people say AMD are good, it's going to do a double up by the end of this year. I was not really thinking AMD was going to be $1,000 this year. So if AMD goes to $1,000 at the end of this year, I got to readjust a lot of my game strategy because I really was estimating the next 2 to 3 years, AMD is going to be on a growth cycle. But here's what happens. The stock price goes very high quicker than the evaluation catches up. And then it kind of just remains stagnated for a while. It is a cycle of every single stock in the U.S. stock market. It's the history. If you don't believe me, look at stocks. Look at their history. A stock will go up, and then it will stall, and then it will trade sideways. From there, it may go up further a couple years later, or it may very well crash. We're seeing NVIDIA pretty much remain stagnated. We're seeing Palantir remain stagnated. It happens. But AMD, imagine if AMD, hypothetically, was like $1,200 per share by the end of this year. By the end of 2027, I could see AMD being $1,200 a share. But, if AMD was $1,200 a share by the end of this year in 6 months, I'm going to be thinking about taking chips off the table because the stock price has ran up so friggin' much. You got to readjust your strategy. So you always got to be thinking about these things, especially when you look at stuff very much in the long term. I definitely talked more than I wanted to. 23 minutes here on today's episode. As always, if you want to see more of my content, smash the like button here. Subscribe for more. New video tomorrow. Let's see what unemployment brings to us. Stay healthy, everyone. Stay hydrated. Stay motivated. We got to really see what happens this summer because, like I said, it's a coin toss. Later, everyone.